I'm going to go over the odd ones on this video, and then I'll do even ones later. But obviously, you guys are responsible for having all your work done. And remember, all these questions that are on the homework, they get selected to come out on the next assessment that we have. So let's do the odd ones on this video. Number 1, it says determine the best method to solve this system. What would the best method be? Using linear combinations, also known as the elimination method, substitution, or even better, graphing. In this case, graphing is the best. The reason why I say graphing is the best is because they are both in y equals mx plus b, and we could clearly see that they both have the same b value of -1. Remember, if you started graphing, the b value tells you your y-intercept. So the top equation, if I were to graph it in red, it would cross at -1, and from that point I would go up 2 and over 1 because the slope is up 2 over 1. So you'd go up 2 over 1 and you get a dot right there, and that would be your line. That is ugly, but I apologize, it's just a sketch. Now let's do the bottom one. The bottom one I want to do in blue. It also has the same b value at -1, but from there I'm going to go down 4 over 1. So that's going to be really steep going down like this. But remember, the solution is the point of intersection, and clearly that point of intersection is the b value, which is 0, -1. Ladies and gentlemen, there was one like that on the quiz that we had. A lot of people missed it. I don't know why they started putting IMS or no solution, but it has the same b value. That means that the solution is 0, -1. Let's move on. Number 2. Right there, what would the best method be? Graphing? Elimination? Substitution? Substitution. So let's take this top value and put it into the y. So all I did here was rewrite the bottom equation. So I rewrote that bottom equation, and I'm going to be plugging in that binomial right into the y spot, into the parentheses. So I'm plugging in a 3x minus 24. Why am I doing this one? This one's an even question. I said I'd do the odd ones on this video. Oh well, let's keep going. Distribute the minus sign. We're going to have 5x that comes down minus 3x plus 24, and it's still equal to 8. The minus 3x and the plus 5x, a positive 5x minus 3x, that'll be a positive 2x left over, plus 24 equaling 8. So we need to get rid of that plus 24 by subtracting 24. Subtracting 24, we will have 2x equaling, what is that, negative 16? So our final step would be get rid of that 2, which means x equals -8. So we have one answer. We need the other. All we're going to do is take this -8 and plug it into the x position because it says x equals. So instead of 3x, I want to put 3 times -8. So let me do that work up here. Y equals 3 times -8 minus 24. So we really have y equals -24 minus 24, which would be y equals -48. And our solution, -8 comma -48, it'd be best to go back and double check, plug in your 8 for your x and your -48 for your y, and see if it works, which it does. -48 really does equal -24 minus 24. And -48 right here, and a positive 8 right here, or -8 right here. That'd be 5 times -8, that's -40, minus a -48, that's plus 48. -40 plus 48 really is positive 8, so it does work for both. Okay. Number 3, I might as well keep going here. And the rest I'll do odd ones. Number 3, linear combinations is best. So when you combine the lines, the y's eliminate. 9x equals 36, which means what? X equals 4. That's right. We have one answer. We need the other. All we have to do is plug it in. I'm going to plug in that X value of 4. I'm going to plug it into the top equation right there. So I'm going to rewrite that top equation. But instead of 4x, I'm going to put 4 parentheses, and I'm plugging in the 4 right in there for x. But it still has a plus y, an equals, and a 24. So when I do this math, I'm going to have a new equation. I'm going to rewrite it up here. 16 plus y equals 24. Minus 16 on both sides. We will have y equals 8. We have one value, and we already have both values. X is 4, y is 8. And that's it. 4, 8. Now, that was just review of what we've been doing. And of course, we're still going to have these types of systems that you could choose whether to do substitution like number 2, or maybe thinking about graphing like number 1, or linear combinations like number 3. We're going to have a lot of those on the next test. But in addition to that, we're going to be doing word problems like down here. So on this video, I'm going to do the odd ones. On the other video, I'll go back and do the even ones. So number 5 here, basketball. This girl makes 14 baskets, and she scored a total of 30 points. So the two things that we're dealing with are baskets, number of baskets, and points. So we need to create two equations. One equation is going to be based on the number of baskets. And the other one is going to be based on an equation based on points. Okay? Now, before even starting this, it'll be easier if you label. Let's say that x's are going to be 2-pointers. And let's say that y's are going to be 3-pointers. Okay? So let's create our first equation based on the number of baskets. All right, so I don't know how many 2-pointers she made. I really don't. So I'm just going to put an X right there to represent the 2-pointers. That's what I wrote up here. That's just a note to myself. X is going to represent the 2-point baskets. Y is going to represent the number of 3-point baskets. So let's make an equation based on the number of baskets. I don't know how many 2-pointers. I do not know how many 3-pointers. But I do know that she made a total of how many baskets? 14 baskets. Okay? And now, let's make an equation based on points. Okay? So this is kind of ridiculous, but how many points does she make when she makes a 2-point basket? 2 points, right? So I'm going to put 2 times x. Because remember, x is the number of 2-pointers. So how many? If she does 10 2-pointers, that's going to be 2 times 10, which will be 20, right? Y is the number of 3-pointers, but how many points does she get for each 3-pointer? 3, so let's put 3 times y. And how many total points did she make this game? 30. So there you have it, guys. That's a hard part. That's a hard part. The number of baskets, you don't know how many 2-pointers, you don't know how many 3-pointers, but you know it's a total of 14. Total means you add these baskets with these baskets, total of 14 baskets. Number of points. It's so easy you might get confused. Yeah, how many points are a 2-pointer? It's 2 points. So you put 2x. How many points are a 3-pointer? It's 3 points. So you put 3y. And now this is our system. Let's solve that system. You either want x's or y's to cancel. I am going to get the x's to cancel by multiplying the top equation by what? If you multiply it by -2, you'll be able to cancel out with the bottom 2x. So let me rewrite my top equation. My top equation will be up here, -2x minus 2y equals -28. The bottom equation, we're going to leave it the same. Just write it up there. It's going to be positive 2x plus 3y equals 30. And now that we've modified it, we are able to combine the lines, eliminate the 2-pointers, the x's, and -2y plus 3y, that'll be 1y, which is really saying that one 3-pointer, or the 3-pointers are how many did she make? 28, take away 30, that is 2. So she made 2 3-pointers according to this. Y equals 2. 1y equals 2. And you don't need the 1. It's just y equals 2. What's it asking for on this problem? How many 2-point baskets? All right, so we know that she made 2 of the y's, which are the 3-pointers. So we need to know the 2-pointers, not the 3-pointers. So we're going to take that value of 2 and plug it in right there. So let me rewrite my top equation. X plus, but instead of y, I'm going to plug in 2 equals 14. So to get rid of the positive 2, you subtract it, and you'll get your final answer. X equals 12. So this girl did 12 2-pointers and 2 3-pointers in the game. Does that make sense? Of course, the only thing they're asking for are the 2-pointers. So you would say 12 2-point baskets. Let's move to the next odd one, number 7. Illegal sales at school. Juanito sells Flaming Hot Cheetos for $1, Takis for 75 cents. This is almost identical to the one we did in class. In one day, Juanito sold 45 bags, making a total of $38.25. So we need to identify the 2 things, the 2 equations that we need to do. So we're going to make one equation based on the number of bags. So let's all write that down. Number of bags. And the second equation is going to be based on money, right? Whenever you're dealing with money, it's most likely that you're going to make an equation based on money. And the other equation is going to be dealing of the number of items. And what are we talking about here? We're talking about bags. Yeah, there's 2 types of bags, Cheetos and Takis, but we still want to make an equation based on that number of bags. So I do not know how many Cheeto bags I have. I do not know how many Taki bags I have, but I know if I add the amount of bags together, I have the total amount of bags sold, which it says right here, Juanito sold 45 bags. So equals 45. So there's an equation based on the number of bags. So the other equation we're going to be based on money, all right? So it's pretty easy because it says how much is a Cheeto bag? $1. So we're going to put a 1 in front of the C. That's saying that you're going to pay $1 for each Cheeto bag, right? Plus, how much is a Taki? 0.75. So I'm going to put plus. Now 75 cents is 0.75, and we're talking about Takis here. And of course we have the equals the total amount of money he made. How much did he make? $38.25. All right. So this is our system here, guys, right here. This is our system. Now we need to solve that system. And a lot of people see decimals and they want to multiply by 100 to get rid of the decimals, but you have a positive C up here and a positive C right there. So you could eliminate the C's as long as you multiply one of them by a -1. Okay? So I'm going to multiply this bottom equation by a -1. That way the C's will cancel. So the top equation is going to stay the same. C plus T equals 45. The bottom equation is going to become -C minus 0.75T equals -$38.25. Now we're able to combine the lines, the C's eliminate, and if you have, there's really a 1 up here in front of the T. If you have 1 take away 0.75, that's like $1 take away 75 cents, you will have 25 cents left. So that's a 0.25, we're talking about T's here, equals, we need 45 take away 38.25. That would be $6.75. And for the final step here, you'd have to divide by 25 cents by 0.25, divide by 0.25. It's really like saying how many quarters are in $6.75, but use a calculator. 6.75 divided by 0.25, and you will get 27. So we know that T equals 27. So what does that mean? That this guy sold 27 bags of Takis, right? Are they asking for Takis bags?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. We're done. It says how many bags of Takis? 27 bags of Takis. Now, if it would ask for Cheeto bags, you'd have to take that 27 and substitute it back in right here, substitute the 27 for the Takis so you can find out how many Cheeto bags he sold, if they asked for Cheetos. But they only asked for Takis, so we're done. So these were the odd ones. I'm going to make another video with the even ones.